ready for another lesson?
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Back Row Banter, your favorite casual movie talk podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Adam Schwartz, and on this week's episode, we'll be talking about the movie The Running Man. But, of course, before we get to any of that, I'm joined today by Network Nathaniel Gingrich.
Part of the network. We know.
Yeah.
I'm mad as
You know
hell,
me.
and I just can't take it anymore. That's the movie network.
I've never seen it, heard very good things.
Mm-hmm.
As a poli-sci journalism,
I was gonna say, it feels like that
film.
Feels like one of the ones
person.
that they would watch in one of those classes.
They
actually.
talked about it. I just
Sure.
never ended up watching it.
Sure.
But it was certainly talked about. Yeah. I'll have to check it out at some point.
Yeah, maybe we'll put it on the pod. Put it on the pod.
You seen it?
I
Good
actually have
movie?
not. I've not.
Poser.
Yeah.
Quoting a network or quoting a movie you haven't even seen.
I definitely have seen that bit. That was.
Fair
I
enough.
feel like I saw that on one of those. You might have been too young for these, but like, Tyler, do you? I had to imagine watched the VH1. Like, I love the '80s. I love the '90s.
Oh yeah.
Things back in the day. I'm pretty sure I found
Yeah.
out about it from one of those things. Which I was thinking about those the other day. What genuinely good programming for like kids coming up at that time. It was like, here's all of the pop culture bits from like the years that you were not alive. So like now you have like a frame of reference for things. But yeah,
Bring those back.
that's what I'm
You bet.
saying. They're probably and it would have like talking heads. Like it would be people that are popular and then or comedians and that stuff, and they would just be commenting on it. I guess in a lot of ways it's just podcasts nowadays. It'd be all of your favorite
sure.
podcasters remembering what things were like in the '90s. That would in essence be what.
Which is like every podcast.
Yeah, exactly. So that's I guess there's
Including
your
this
answer.
one sometimes.
Yeah, I guess there's your answer. It just became podcasting, but I remember those
fair.
programs. They were cool. I liked them at the time, but it's how I found out about movies like Network and stuff before I was searching them in class or something.
Yeah. All right. Well, also joining us today, we have Track Ty, Tyler Vidalis.
Yellow.
Was that
Just
track
doing
tie
track,
or
huh?
track suit tie?
Tracked, like
Oh, okay.
TRACKED.
Like tracker.
Yeah. I guess I didn't enunciate.
Tracker
well enough for that
jackers.
to come through. Yeah, tracker jackers. Man, those things suck, huh? It's a
True.
Hunger Games reference.
Also true.
Yeah. How you doing, Ty?
I'm good, man. Nothing too crazy. Just working a lot, and obviously we're recording on a Monday, so
It's true.
not as long. as
Not
a week.
often that happens anymore. That
Usually, like last week, we recorded on a Thursday, and I had a very long week leading up to that, so catching me
Yeah.
pretty fresh in the week. So nothing too, nothing too crazy.
Yeah, we haven't reached the low of the week yet, but it's coming. but it's coming.
It'll be there.
It'll happen. Yeah, quick turnaround on our recording nights here, but not mad
Yeah,
about it.
Ryan will be happy.
Yeah, Ryan will be happy.
Shout out,
I meant to upload a podcast from last week yesterday, and I forgot, so I'm gonna do that.
Right
but
after
2
this.
episodes will probably drop. Yep, probably drop at the same time. There you go, Ryan Foley.
Yeah, he's probably gonna be
Hope you're
mad that I
happy.
called him Ryan, so we'll just call him Foley.
Foley.
I'm gonna call him Ryan.
You can. It really doesn't bother him when it's like relatively newer people, so to speak, in his life. I've known Ryan for like 20 years, so when I call him Ryan, he's like, "Why the fuck did you do that? Why did you call me that?"
I might have told the story on pod before, but it's a fine one. When I first met Foley, he was introduced to me as Foley, and it was like with Justin and another friend of theirs who I think was also like in film. So I thought I genuinely thought he was like a sound effects artist, and they just called him Foley. Like that was just like his name for a bit. And I was like,
funny.
that's a sick nickname, bro. Like if you're like the audio dude and they just call you Foley, like that's the coolest thing ever. He's like, no, it's my last name. I was like, oh, all right, well,
It's not that cool. You're
it's
not that
not
cool to me
as
anymore.
cool, but yeah.
That's hilarious.
So yeah, Ryan, feel free to just take that. Just tell people that you are that, or excuse me, Foley. I would be fine with that.
I don't know if I ever told you guys, but we had one of our friends completely convinced that his real name was Brian.
Yes, I had heard that story as well too.
And she was
I
like,
feel
why
like
do
you've
you
told
guys
that before.
call him Ryan, though? And we were like, it's just like a ongoing joke we've had for years, but his real name's Brian. And then he had his IT guy at work Photoshop his ID to say B. It's like
Foley.
still spelled Ryan, but just spelled with a B. So that way, that's why we were always like, yeah, see, it's spelled the same way as Ryan, but his name's Brian. And he sent a picture of that Photoshop of his license to her, and she was like, holy shit, I thought you guys were just like with me. And we were like, nope, it's real. And so still to this day, we're not sure if she knows that his name is Brian or Ryan.
Is that someone he stays in contact with?
No, she definitely fell from the group quite a
gotcha.
while ago. You
That's
know how just
hilarious, though.
groups create and split up.
Oh yeah, yeah.
She's still cool. She's chill. But no.
Well, maybe to get a bit more shout outs to Foley later in the episode if we do a bit of what we're watching, because I got one that references him, but we'll see. Bit of sizzle.
Bit of sizzle. How exciting. We are missing one member of our usual crew here today. That is Mr. BlakeHolder. He's in the big UK. I don't know another word for London, but he's in London on a business trip. So it's unclear whether we don't know whether he's going to watch this movie over the pond. But he alluded that he would. So I'm not ready to call this a bit of sizzle episode.
Okay.
However, there's potential for it to evolve into one. So for right now, it's going to go up as a regular episode. We're going to do our rankings and stuff, and then hopefully at some point he can give us his rating and ranking. Not for this, we won't be on pod here, but at some point we can do that. The chance that he doesn't see this movie at any point in the near future, probably go back, change this episode to a bit of sizzle, and so if it's a bit of sizzle now. Anyway, running in.
I was gonna say you're cutting in a little bit in and out there. Tyler, was he cutting in and out for you, or was that just me? Because I just want to
No,
check.
he was.
Okay.
That is unfortunate, and I don't know if there's much I can do about it. Did like internet? It sound like
sounds a little.
It sounds more like internet.
Sounds like internet. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys. Okay, can you guys? Let me turn off my camera. What's funny is one of my roommates isn't even home.
Sure.
So, and my other roommate just got back home. So there really should be very low internet bandwidth being used here.
Yeah.
And I'm getting it. So love to see that. We'll keep the camera off for now. If it gets better later on, which it hopefully should, we'll turn it back around. But did you guys hear everything I was saying about the bit of sizzle, or do I need to repeat any of that?
No, yeah, it was pretty much just the end, and I think we'll be able to pick up. People will be able to pick up what you're saying from context.
Yeah, potential for this to be a bit of sizzle up later. For right now, it's not. We can move on into the review. Nathaniel here, if the listener here is new, or maybe they've just forgotten, can you give them a rundown of how our review segment works?
What up, folks? If you're new, or perhaps you've just forgotten, the way the review segment works here at Back Row Banter is split into two sections. There's the non-spoiler section, and then there's the spoiler section. Pretty self-explanatory. In the non-spoiler section, we'll go over the movie itself, its IMDb page, who wrote it, who's in it, all that good stuff. We'll talk about any initial thoughts we have. We'll see if we recommend the movie. Got to be a yes or no. There is no nuance on the internet. And then we'll go around the squadron, like I said, see if we recommend it. After that, it'll be spoiler time. I'll play a spoiler noise for you. And then we'll go into our deeper thoughts about the movie itself. Any big plot twists, any spoilery moments that we want to talk about. And then if you don't want to have anything spoiled for you, you can still listen to the rest of the podcast. Just check in the show notes where we will be out of our spoiler time. And, check out where we rank it up on our Entropy list, which is our big list of everything we've watched on the podcast, all ranked together. With that being said, Adam, talk to me about The Running Man.
I would love to. For audio listeners, which is all of our listeners, Nathaniel is currently running in place.
It's true.
In his chair, and he's going to continue to do so the rest of the episode. So just keep that in your mental visualization of Nathaniel.
About 2 minutes. I'm gonna be really out of breath, and I'm gonna start sweating.
Yeah. No, but he's committed to it. He won't stop, and if he does, we will shoot him. This is actually the long walk plot.
Second half of the episode, just a gunshot. I don't talk anymore.
Yeah, exactly. New movie here. Kind of. Movie itself is new. The concept is not. This is based on a Stephen King novel. And there has already been one adaptation of this film. When did the original come out?
87, I want to say.
Yeah, I think somewhere in there.
Let's see here. I just found it on IMDb. We are looking at 87. Good call there. Have either of you seen the original?
Yes.
I'm sure I have, but it's definitely one that does not come to mind at all.
I saw it once years ago. I thought I had seen the movie Demolition Man. So
you were talking about this.
I rewatched Running Man like 3 weeks ago, and I was like, wait, I've seen this. So I've never seen Demolition Man. And I've seen the Running Man, the old Running Man, twice. So yeah, pretty fresh for me still on this one.
Okay. Noted. So new movie rated. What is the rating here on this?
Gotta be an R, right?
Rated R with a runtime of 2 hours and 13 minutes and an IMDb rating of 6.8 out of 10. It is directed by Mr. Edgar Wright and, of course, written by Mr. Edgar Wright and Michael Bacall, with, of course, a Stephen King nod for the original concept. The cast includes Glenn Powell, Alyssa and Sienna Ben.
Oh, that's the
mother.
I think you're in a weird. Is it alphabetical? Wait. That's his children.
Must
I
be.
think it's a.
That is right. That is. Yep. Now I get it. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to. This is in.
Yeah, so we got Coleman Domingo, we got Josh Brolin.
Coleman Domingo, thank you.
We've got Katie O'Brien is in this as well too. William H. Macy.
Yes.
Who else is in here?
I mean, you're just getting them all right off the top.
Yeah. The Amelia, I don't know her actress's name off the top of my head. But she, what did I see her in? She was on a Netflix show I watched not too long ago.
She's gonna be down this list here, probably.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find her.
Those I feel like are all the big names, anyways. A couple of them maybe we won't talk about because there's also some that are spoiler-ish. But
sure.
Yeah, that's gonna be your. Well, who plays his wife as well too? I feel like we should.
Amelia Jones plays Amelia Williams.
Oh well, there you go. That's efficient.
Yeah, it is. What were you asking? What were you
his wife is played by Jamie Lawson.
Yeah, what? Yes, it is.
All right. So
cool.
Yeah, I feel like those would be the big
I hate when they do the cast like that. It's the worst.
Not uncredited.
But maybe it's Does Letterboxd do that? If the Letterboxd doesn't do that, we're just gonna make this a Letterboxd summary and we're just gonna say screw IMDb. We're transitioning the whole show to Letterboxd, honestly. This should be
I love Letterboxd. They don't have the trivia. IMDb trivia is still one of my things, man.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Anyway, the IMDb summary of the movie reads as follows. A man joins a game show in which contestants allowed to go anywhere in the world are pursued by hunters. hired to kill them.
Can they go anywhere in the world?
That's what this says.
Hmm.
I don't think that's true. Well, he does say I'm going to go to Canada.
True. Oh,
But
yeah. For future reference, Letterboxd definitely does it the better way, the way that you will like better. So
cool. Well, then maybe I'll just start doing that. We'll see. Anyway,
man joins a game show, needs to win money.
yeah, everyone's that's pretty much it. Just survive 30 days. There's people trying to hunt you down. Civilians can report you for cash reward,
Mm-hmm.
which they're inclined to do.
Because it's
you
a
against the
horrible
country.
future, dystopian future
/ reality.
Whoa, man.
That's our summary. 6.8. Good spot for this to be at. I mean, I'll kick us off here. I'm like pretty positive on this. I don't think this is not contending for movie of the year or anything like that, but like very entertaining movie. And it's like one of those ones where it's just, if you wanted to get out of the house and you want to go to the movie theater and this was playing, I think you'd be very happy with buying a ticket for it. Just a good time. It's not necessarily a movie that has a lot of like, it's relatively, you kind of know what you're getting. And if you kind of know what the movie is about, the story doesn't necessarily surprise me in too many places, but it's still entertaining, still a good time, still like the acting, the characters, the action's all great. Pretty positive on this overall. I have not seen or seen the original movie or read the books. This is my first exposure to The Running Man, and I had a good time with it overall.
Yeah, I think I mean, from the perspective of like the older movie and this one, there's certainly some changes that are on there, but this is definitely hews more closely to the novel. It feels like, but it definitely is an Edgar Wright adaptation of a novel, which like I don't know if always works. It's a weird marriage on that side of things, just because like I feel like this is another one where Stephen King is writing as Richard Bachman, so this is the same era as The Long Walk. And you obviously there is a lot of similarities in plot, like in some of the conceits, right? So and like that's a much younger, angrier King, I think, in some ways, which comes across in the plot of this in some ways with how like angry Ben Richards is written as well. And it's such a strange tonal pairing between Edgar Wright and Stephen King in that kind of mode that I don't think it always works, which we might talk about a little bit more in spoilers. But I think for the most part, I think this is going to find people in a really weird part. I think a lot of people will really like it, and I think I think other folks will find it kind of mediocre. I'm not surprised it's in that 6.87 range. But I was walking out of the theater, and I there was a group of like younger people next to me that were coming out, guys and girls, and they were turning to each other, and they're like, "Oh, that was the best action movie I've seen like this year with this really great message." And I was just kind of like, "Wow, that's not necessarily what I took away from this, but I'm interested to hear that that's your opinion." Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't quite know where this is going to land with most people. I think I enjoyed it more than I didn't, and I can see it being a bit of a rewatch, but it kind of hit the same frequency as movie from last year, Ryan Gosling, Fall Guy, weirdly for me.
Sure.
Where I'm like, yeah, this is perfectly fun to watch, and I enjoyed it, but I don't know that I like I wouldn't put it on for myself to watch again, maybe, but I would put it on with a group, like that kind of thing.
Sure. Yeah. I could 100% get behind that. Ty?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think I'm kind of in that same area. This definitely isn't like my movie of the year by any means, but I think that like mid six, 7, low sevens is kind of where this movie's probably supposed to live.
Mm.
Um I thought the action was great. I thought the story was great. I did not read the books. And I like I said, I could probably say pretty confidently that I have seen the first one, but not with anything of like you know, being able to tell you exactly what happened. Um I I do love a little bit of callbacks to the movie, which is pretty great.
Mm.
That I just kind of know. But other than that, yeah, man, Glenn Powell's really good in this.
Yeah, I think all
I
the
think
actors are pretty much are firing pretty well on this one.
yeah. Yeah, I think it's a pretty small cast for the
Agreed.
most part, at least for people that have, like actual, speaking pieces.
Yeah.
Um and so whoever's on screen, I think is doing a fantastic job. Josh Brolin, love to see him. And anytime we get to kind of see him in a villain kind
I
of
was gonna
arc,
say,
it's always
man,
a good thing. So
Josh Brolin quietly, he's got like a hell of a career,
Dude,
man. Like if
He,
you look at
he
his,
For sure,
is
if
in
you
the
look,
last 5 years. I feel like he's also just like re-upped everything.
yeah, man. Like if you just look at his report card, like that's a crazy career that he's in.
Absolutely.
I mean, even just this year, you had Weapons. Then, like before that, last year, you had
Yeah.
Dune 2 as well. Like the
Yeah, goated.
man's he's one of those quiet, just powerhouses. I feel like.
Yeah, I think his notoriety in the last couple of years. I mean, you also think he's Thanos.
Yeah, I mean, Thanos,
Like,
I'm sure helped. Like,
that's the one I just kind of forget about, but like that being there's
yeah, but I feel like it had to have like he becomes bankable off of that, right? Like,
sure.
there's something else going on there. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I agree. He's killing
um,
it. He's definitely one of those guys now where I'm like, once I see him on screen, I kind of sit up in my chair a little bit more.
Mm.
Like I didn't expect him in this. I didn't even know he was. And so when his character kind of entered the screen, I was like,
Oh
all right,
shit.
you had me interested. Yeah, it was a no shit. Like, all right, Josh Brolin's here. Maybe we're in good hands.
Have you seen much Edgar
yeah,
Wright?
I would agree.
Um, yes and no. I'm
You
not
saw
gonna sit here and
did
say I've seen everything he's made, but I've seen obviously we did Last Night in Soho,
right.
and I've seen Baby Driver and
Okay.
Scott Pilgrim. So
Wow, but you haven't seen the
those
Cornetto
three,
trilogy,
no.
which
What is
is
that?
Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and The World's End.
No, I've not seen those.
Definitely worth working your way through at some point.
Okay,
That's where you get
is
Simon
that
Pegg and Nick Frost. Like that's their
right?
whole thing, and then that's
True.
Edgar Wright.
Shaun of the Dead, right?
Yeah, well, they're in
I've
all three.
definitely heard of that one. Oh, okay, they're in all three. Got
Yeah,
it.
so Shaun of
Yeah.
the Dead's the zombie satire. Hot Fuzz is
Right.
like a cop, like satire, but it's like set
Right.
in a small
Okay.
English town. And then
Okay.
World's End is a kind of an alien invasion one, but yeah.
All three are ones I've heard about.
What's
Just haven't seen.
what's the other one you get them in with the alien?
Paul.
Seth. Yeah,
Yeah.
Paul.
Yeah, also worth watching. Another one you could probably throw on with buddies though.
Okay, it's a movie called Paul.
Yeah, but it's not directed by
Yeah.
Edgar Wright. It's
No, it's not.
It's
It's
with-
Simon Pegg. Okay.
and Nick Frost and a alien voiced by Seth Rogen.
Sounds.
You should
I'm
be able to
intrigued.
guess where that's going pretty quick.
Yeah, no, I'm
Those three
intrigued.
characters.
I've gathered what I need to know about that movie. Cool, man. Yeah, no, I like Edgar Wright of what I've seen of his.
And I
I really
interrupted.
don't think I've seen a. Oh no, you're good. I was just bringing this back, but yeah, I have not seen all of his stuff, but haven't seen a bad film of his. All the ones that I have watched. I mean, I really enjoy Baby Driver. That's
Sure.
that's definitely one of my like favorites. and was in my top 10 for a little bit. It's since fallen out, but I do really enjoy Baby Driver. So yeah.
Tyler, I interrupted you as well. Would you have any other further thoughts on your? I mean, you just saw this.
Yeah, like a couple hours ago. But no, nothing too crazy that we can't go into spoilers on. I just brought up the Josh Brolin fact, and
Yeah.
yeah, no, I would agree with Adam. You know, when you see him, it's just he's kind of coveted himself as one of those people that when you see on screen, you just kind of rub your hands together a little bit and you're like, oh, okay, you know, let's go.
right.
What do we got? So, and I will say I've been doing a very good job at staying away from like who's in cast,
Sure.
anything really other than like maybe the first trailer, except for like this movie I didn't even watch the first trailer of. So I had no idea who was in this other than Glenn Powell. So when I did see him on screen, I was like, hey, yo, let's go. Like, I know what he's capable of as an actor, and I know what he's capable as a villain. And you find out relatively quickly that that's kind of where he's going to be in this
Yeah.
movie. And so, yeah, I was excited to see him.
Well, that's a recommend from me. Recommend from you, Ty.
Yeah.
Adam.
Yes, that's a recommend for me. Like I said, I think if you go to the theater and you buy a ticket, I think you're going to be happy you did.
Yeah, I think so too.
I was getting very caveman. If you go theater, you buy ticket, you be
If
good.
you theater, you sit down, theater dark, movie loud, screen bright.
Why use
Screen
many word,
big.
few word do trick?
I save time. See
Yeah.
World.
Yeah.
Wait, like SeaWorld?
SeaWorld or SeaWorld? See, all the time that you've been saving has now been wasted. Little Office reference for you. All right, we're heading into spoilers. If you've not seen Running Man and do not want it spoiled for you, go ahead check the episode description where you I've left a time to say if you can jump to where you'll be taking the ranking of the movie up upon our Entropy list.
Help upon.
Spoiler
Woo! Yeah, Running Man. Richards lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo, Richard.
Shit goes down. And they actually say that in this movie as well, too. Multiple times.
Yeah.
So shit goes down. Not enough Coleman Domingo in this, I will say.
I agree. I really thought he would play a bigger role than he did. Now his voice is in it.
Yeah.
Narrates the stuff as it goes along, which I couldn't. Some scenes I liked it more than others. By the end of the movie, I was really not loving the narration.
So
like, he's walking through the door, and this is like,
sure.
I don't know. It really was like very scene dependent for me on like if I enjoyed it or not. It kind of took away from some scenes, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like this movie's got this story has an internal logic problem, or like a big kind of problem that they kind of try and solve in a very like unsuccessful kind of way, I think, in the third act for this. And it maybe moves this movie down from like a really great one that I want everyone to see to be like, oh, it's pretty fun. And that is, in the original story, his family is killed and he gets revenge by flying the plane into the building and killing everyone.
Oh.
And you can't do that anymore. So like Stephen King sort of accidentally predicted 9/11 in some ways, and like you can't have your hero flying a plane into a building anymore as like his heroic act.
Cancel culture these days.
I know. Thanks, Osama.
Yeah, jeez.
So like, and like this movie's so close to the book in so many other ways where like that's how the book ends, and then like this they kind of try and do a different thing while also making a nod to it, and I think it just means that the like finale of this movie doesn't quite function the same way. And in the Arnold version, it's a different setup there. He's never on the plane, so they never have to like deal with it that way. They just kind of storm the building. So yeah, it's a bit tough there, I think. And I feel like where this movie does kind of like fall down a little bit is in those last kind of 5-10 minutes or so, where I was just kind of like, this is how we're ending this one. That's a bit odd. Like so much of the climax happens off screen.
Yeah. Yeah, when they cut to the guy kind of narrating.
The apostle.
Yeah, right. When they cut back to him, I was like, well, this is strange. Just felt like you had a lot of momentum building in that scene just for it to play out like that. And while it's not the direct ending of the movie, yeah, you're right. I don't know. It just felt a little anticlimactic is the easy word for it. But I
Yeah,
don't know.
it kind of it pushes
odd.
it pushes the catharsis of the narrative off screen, where like you just
Sure.
don't see
Yeah.
that resolution happening. So you get this kind of other versions, but like to your point, the big climactic moment basically we don't see. It's
Right.
such an odd choice.
It is. Which, like, as you said, if he had to rewrite this ending, it's interesting he chose to rewrite it in that way. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Could have maybe just done something else, but I'm not gonna judge him too harshly for it.
No, I mean we have the movie that we have, right? And that's what we have to judge it off
Right.
of. Like I
Right,
think
exactly.
so much of this movie is working so well that like there's just certain parts of it that don't quite get it over the line for me in some areas.
Right. Yeah. No, I would agree. So one of my big takeaways from this, and this is something that we didn't get to talk about with one battle after another because we haven't reviewed it, or at least reviewed it yet. The world building seems very deliberate in this one, and it did in one battle as well, where in what's supposed to be sold to you as like a dystopian world, and which is especially true in this compared to one battle, not making the direct comparisons to these two films and the two worlds that they're taking place in, because I think one battle is definitely supposed to be more modern day, and this is definitely dystopian, but with this one especially, very fine line of like once he gets into the gated city or whatever, crosses into, I don't know if they have a specific word for it.
Yeah, I don't know.
The capital, there you go. Yeah. But it is like, oh, that just looks like, for the most part,
New York.
everyday life, everyday New York, downtown Chicago, whatever you want to say, like pretty normal living conditions from the world that we were just looking at, where it was like the slums and it was more industrialized, very metal walls and a home with no windows, like that kind of thing. And that kind of trends throughout the movie. There are definitely some more natural looking kind of sets and stuff like that, and towns and locations. But even like the grocery store at the end of the movie stuck out to me too, where it's like that was just straight up, a Jewel Osco or something along those lines. And I think it's a very interesting choice of just the current political climate where we're at in the United States, having these movies that have a lot to say. Both this and One Battle is kind of where I'm getting at, of like not having it be some far off, sci-fi looking Blade Runner-esque throughout the entire universe that this movie is taking place in. There are contrasts between, here the dystopian parts of this are in the slums and certain bits of technology, that kind of thing, and the sci-fi of it all, but also there is a groundedness to the movie, and that makes you recognize it as trends that are happening in modern day. It doesn't get you too far away from saying, hey, like these are obviously still, it's a world that looks like ours in a lot of ways, despite it being supposed to be a sci-fi dystopian future.
There seems to be some deliberate choices there as well too. Like there's no one on a laptop. Like for some reason people still seem to watch this thing on TVs and like large kind of screens around and that kind of thing. No one's really, even though they have phones and they're like record and report on the phone, no one's watching the show on their phone. I find interesting as well too. So there is like this kind of like the TV is still more important in this world than I think it has become in some modern ways. But like, yeah, there's some interesting choices that you were kind of like that I think they make there, and like again, kind of like point to what you were saying about world building of like I like the William H. Macy character where he's like, oh yeah, I can't keep those old tube TVs in stock because they actually show you what you want to watch or something like that. Like,
right.
or they don't want you back. Yeah. That I thought that was great. And yeah, those moments where you do get a better view into the world. I think that is, I mean, in contrast to the Arnie one, is much better done in this one for sure. And the mailboxes, love the mailboxes where they throw the tape in there and then they float off.
Yeah, it's the one piece. As soon as one piece is put in there, it flies off. Yeah.
Very inefficient, but get you your mail fast, I suppose.
True.
Which that was interesting choices.
That was the thing when I was watching it. No, it was fine. I'm sorry. I just got another idea.
No, you're good. I just wanted to close that point off, but go ahead.
That was a thought I had while watching this. I was like, if this was real life, people would just be camping out the mailboxes. There's too many people that have played too many video games at this point to online for anyone in modern day to survive this deal, I think.
Well, yeah, also because it seems like nobody else is using the fucking mailboxes.
Right, except him, yeah.
It's not like those things are flying around delivering mail everywhere you go. It's quite literally almost, for all intents and purposes,
you're right.
for the game.
Yeah. Cool mailboxes, though.
Michael Cera's great. We haven't talked about him yet.
Also didn't know he was in this, and it was one of those ones where I saw his name in the kind of opening credits and then forgot he was going to be in this. And so it was, again, like a great surprise once he opened the door. But yeah, he is great in this, except his characters. It's one of those decisions where it's like, this is dumb, but like it's got to happen for maybe plot reasons, I guess. Like, I don't know.
You mean him being killed?
Pushing the alarm was. Well, no, him pushing
just
that
him
alarm.
Going crazy.
Oh,
like why?
Yeah. I love that.
Right.
I like it too, but I do understand where Adam's coming from.
The logic of it is broken.
To just hit the button yourself when you can just give yourself plenty of time to get out. It clearly wouldn't have helped because the bunker isn't there anymore.
Yeah. I just
didn't.
I interpret it as like he's so broken that like.
For sure.
That like this is just how he's gonna do things at this point, and like if you're gonna be putting yourself in with revolutionaries, you're gonna come across some broken revolutionaries as well too.
Yeah. Very fair, very very fair. But still,
yeah. I mean, like it's played for laughs, and it's like it could easily be read as like this is the silly part of it, but I don't know.
Right.
Him violently pumping the hydro,
follow, though. Yeah,
the
exactly.
hydro pump is amazing.
Scene to follow because him doing the
full Home Alone
water gun, like, yep, exactly. So good bits there at least.
One of my like favorite little things that they put in there is Arnold's face is on the money.
Yeah.
I did see that.
I love that.
Which I didn't fully process until after the movie ended, where I was like. I saw it as it happened. I was like, is that Arnold Schwarzenegger on the money? Like, maybe he's the president of this country, and maybe we'll get a cameo to him later. And then it didn't process till I got out of the movie. I was like, oh, duh, he's the first running man.
Well, and that's one thing that I wish they had kept from the Arnie Running Man, is that in that one, the hunters are all like have personalities and are big, like flamboyant characters. They're almost like pro wrestlers. Where like, in fact, one of them I think is Jesse Ventura, and then like Jim Brown is also one of the guys as well too. But like, there's one that's like an ice skating sumo wrestler that has like a hockey stick with a blade on it that he's like going around trying to cut down because in that one also the Running Man is more of a course. Like you only have it's like set in the old city and it's like set over like 3 days. It's not set over 30, so it's much more of a like. most dangerous game kind of thing, and it's like you go into an area and then all of a sudden you're in a hockey rink, and then this dude shows up and tries to do it. Or there's like another guy that's like full of lights and has like electricity powers and that kind of thing.
They're quite literally like mini bosses.
Yeah, exactly. And I wish
Yeah.
they had a little bit more of that flavor in this. In some ways, like the Lee Pace one is like pretty standard, I feel like, but
Oh, is that Lee Pace?
yeah.
I knew I recognized him. I was
You
like,
couldn't
why
tell
does that
from
guy
how
look so familiar?
how elongated he is. Like his torso is like 3 feet long, bro.
I should have
didn't-
noticed.
I didn't realize like how unproportionate he is until he jumps off the truck
Dude.
on the highway scene. Because then
Yeah.
I'm like, he looks so long. What the fuck?
So that dude's 6'5". Like what the fuck is
Yeah.
happening?
That's awesome. He looked so like old and grizzled in this, which I know he's not young necessarily, but
Yeah.
he would just look much older than I have a vision of Lee Pace in my mind.
No, it was-
shout out Lee Pace.
I saw his name in the credits as well too, and it was like one of the things like that character said. I was like, that sounded like Nicolas Cage, and then I was like, nah. and then he stood up later in the movie, and I was like, oh, that's Lee Pace. I can
So
just
you
tell
knew it before he took the mask
Oh
off?
yeah, I can tell by how long he is.
Oh,
dude.
and you saw his name in the credits. Too.
Yeah.
Right. In my head, you just know what Lee
Lee
Pace's
Pace's-
torso.
I can tell him
and
by
body
his
looks like,
silhouette.
proportions. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's funny. Well, to his credit, does a good job.
It's good in
I
this.
think the
I
aesthetic
think.
of it's cool. Although I agree, I do think it would have been cool to have like some personality behind the hunters a little bit more. They try to make you like know who they are a little bit. There's one guy smoking a cigarette that like
Yeah.
gets blown up on the
The
bridge.
dude that looks like Jared Leto from Fight Club.
Yeah. But other than that, no attachment to the hunters really. So
I'm trying to see if I could find photos of like some of the original ones.
yeah, I think it's interesting. It's I mean, it's not a direct commentary, but just the way the video clips and when they start just kind of faking everything on the TV show.
Yeah.
And, the mom of the two guys that are trying to help him out are she's like, get him out of the house because she, thinks that's real, obviously.
Yeah, doesn't want to deal with it.
Yeah, exactly. Just gets kind of nervous about it all. But I think it's just really interesting. Also, kind of, where we are in modern day technology and stuff. Now, before I continue, is that them faking the actual videos themselves? Is that part of the original novel
Yeah.
and the original movie?
I
I'm
know.
assuming so.
So the novel, I know like the structure of it. I haven't finished it or I haven't read it fully.
Yeah.
But I believe that comes in at a certain part of it. It is part of the
Okay.
Arnie movie because eventually like they subvert the game, and so they try and tell the audience that they got killed basically by one of the other ones and like have a video of it and that kind of thing. And like that's back in the day when like they show the audience by actually showing them manipulating the thing, and so like it does the like 80s where the face pulls off and there's just a wireframe underneath it and they like put another face over it kind of thing, and then it's clear that they've switched the actors and they just play the video at that point. But
That's funny.
yeah, it's cool. Whereas like nowadays it's just like they just play a different recording
Yeah.
and we just know, right? Because like we don't have to
Right,
have that
right.
explained to us anymore. Deepfakes
Right.
are just enough of a thing.
Right. It's just AI. Yeah. That's scary.
Yeah, it tells you something
yeah.
about it.
I like because then it builds up the them faking everything. Obviously, is a major point in the plot. But
Yeah.
when he gets to Amelia and he's like, yeah, the show is fake, just not in the way you think it is. Like,
I thought that was interesting too, that like the people from the higher society almost like don't believe people are actually dying on the show in some ways. It seems like if
Sure.
you're not like
Right.
actively watching the show, you could just assume that they aren't and that they're faking it in some ways.
Right.
But again, I think that just like shows how cut off they are. Like there are so many interesting choices with how
Yeah.
kind of like isolated people are and how like big the world is. It just doesn't all like I feel like come together for me in some ways.
For me, the only explanation for that is the fact that like we're always kind of talking about now in like our present day on like how people are just so glued to technology.
Right.
So like in my mind, in this universe, people are just so glued to like what's being fed to them that that's just what they believe.
Yeah.
And so it's
Yeah.
it's truly dictated on, who you're rooting for. It's kind of like the Star Wars argument. Like if you obviously from the perspective that we're seeing the movie, like the Jedi are clearly the good guys and the Empire is the bad guys. But if
Mm.
you're like on the Empire side, you're like, well, wait a minute. Like, what if they are the bad guys and we are the good guy? And that's like obviously the whole struggle that like Anakin goes through.
Mm.
But yeah, I kind of that's just kind of where I drew that line in the sand for myself. It's just kind of that suspension of belief that like these people are just clearly addicted to everything that's being fed to them.
Mm.
And if you're in a higher society point in this universe, clearly you're making a certain amount of money. You don't have to worry about certain things, and you haven't been forced into thinking that the world is a bad place. You're just thinking, everything's golden. You've never had to fight for
Right.
money or worry about where healthcare is coming from or, food or wherever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a rare
Yeah.
movie that like kind of it tries to anger its audience in a certain way. And then
Yeah, no,
like
I
Sure.
started feeling guilty like watching this movie. I'm like, man, like, do I buy too many scarves? Like, like, am I a bad person? Maybe I am. I don't know.
True. I'll talk
Thanks,
to Papa
Ty.
Schwartz about it.
Yeah, okay.
Papa Schwartz, have you seen Adam's scarf habit? It's gotten completely out of
Yeah.
control.
What have you done?
Scarf, that was like a metaphor. I was just, the scarves from the movie, I was just, referencing.
Yes.
That I don't actually buy scarves. I invest my money in other things like solid gold that Nathaniel's going to steal from me.
No, you convinced me earlier. I'm gonna get my own, and then we'll change this
We're gonna
world
team up?
together, brother.
All right, cool. That's all I wanted to know. That's all I wanted to do, man. Any favorite action sequences here or plot points? Any big moments in the story that kind of stood out to you guys? I mean, there's some good stuff in here.
Yeah,
It's Edgar Wright at the end of the day. It's pretty well directed in that regard.
I think all the stunt work and everything looks good. Glenn Powell seems to be doing a lot of the stunt work himself, and he definitely seems to be kind of throwing himself around there. That's all really good. I think the editing is pretty well done as well too. I think the pacing of the movie's a bit odd, which I think again almost comes down to kind of like where they're going with it, and kind of you kind of got to follow a certain amount of the story, and they're again being very close to the novel. But it's yeah, I think there's a little parts where it kind of drags a little bit, and then there's other parts where like as soon as Michael Cera's on screen, I'm like, this is magic. This is incredible that we got like what we got going here. Similarly, I think Coleman Domingo's great anytime he's on screen as well too. Could have used more of him. But the principal characters and like Brolin and Glenn Powell really only have 2 scenes together on screen. Like they do some amount of talking to each other, but that's generally like through a screen or something like that as well too. I would have liked to have a little bit more resolution there with them, but yeah, I overall pretty great. Had a good time with it. Fun scenes that stick out for me, I think, is definitely the raid on the house. Is pretty great. And then I think I really like the assessment where they do like the shots between him doing the tests and then like the jobs
The
that
little
he's
training
done.
montage?
Yeah, the jobs that he's done in his
Yeah.
life that have kind of like prepared him for that. I thought that was a really done really well and nicely kind of handled.
I agree.
And I like
And the buildup of it too.
Yeah, I like the
to like the signing scene.
yeah, I think that's all done really well, and I think the even the like the breakdown of the apostle on like yeah, I've actually I've watched this show a bunch, and now here's what I can tell you about this as well too. Like how many game shows are there like that? You know, where it's just like if you watch it long enough, you'll start to pick up the rules and structure of the show itself, and I think that's a smart and like pointed commentary on kind of like where we are today with a lot of stuff as well too, and you know, the fans of things also make criticism and thing and content and um media about the thing as well too is that's a very 21st century, I feel like, development.
Sure. Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, it made me think of so there's that one game show they referenced where the guy's running on like the hamster wheel type thing.
Yeah.
It made me think of the Biggest Loser documentary that Netflix put out recently.
Yeah, it turns out
Kind
that
of talking about
they were like just basically like speed losing weight and then putting it all back on, more or
right,
less.
right, like how unhealthy it was and how it put the people on the show itself through hell, kind of fat shamed people and made people think bad things of fat people in general. Um, those kind of thing reinforces those stereotypes and works towards that. And I think this movie definitely has some commentary on the deliberate choices being made by networks and the
Sure.
producers of shows to make things more entertaining, quote unquote, and give the audiences what they're looking for. But that often comes at the expense of the reality of reality TV. I loved the Americanos
Sure.
bits that we kept going to. I thought that was funny, and especially to tie in some kind of reality TV slash Kardashian kind of satire in there was good as well.
Yeah, I can't say that like I don't think any scene was overly like huge actiony. Um it's not like anything we hadn't seen on screen before, but I definitely do like the house scene. Um I do like that little buggy they're in at the end of that too. That
Mm,
thing is sick.
yeah.
Um but I think I like all the nooks and crannies that have been kind of developed in this world, like how he has to climb in through the furnace to get into the what's his name, Mickey's place or something like that. I
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
remember.
Molly.
Molly. Um I like that he has to like he follows all the rats down the sewer after falling down the elevator. After, of course, we had to find a way to get Glenn Powell on screen without a shirt on, and we also do get to see some butt, and we get some butt action here, so
Oh
that's
yeah.
pretty good. Um, and then in the house, there's just like, of course, you got to move the hot dog stand to reveal a secret door, and that's after you like Michael Cera like blows through a wall that he knows he can go through. Um and like the secret, little closet within the closet. And so yeah, I think that whole part of the world is really great that they've had to kind of create all these little nooks and crannies for people to hide in or get away from things. And also shout out Michael Cera's mom in this. She's a fucking nutcase.
Hilarious.
But
That was a
her
good, yeah.
laugh is like incredibly creepy and like haunted in a way. Um her laugh is just like so interesting. I'd be very curious to see if that was like played with audio wise or anything like that, or if that's just like her natural
I
laugh.
I don't know,
Um
but either way, it was horrifying.
yeah. But I do
Yeah.
like the fact where he's like, you can use that bathroom, don't worry, she thinks it's haunted, she won't
Yeah.
go in there.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, that's funny as fuck.
Yeah. Well, to me, I also just love the line of it was a quick one too of like she used to be a nice, kind person,
Yeah.
and just they kind of let that sit there of like, yeah. And you think to all the old people who are just kind of sitting at home and they just watch reality TV and Fox News, and then they just become angry and pissed off at the world, and it's a lot of people that age, and that felt that resonated with me
Mhm.
personally.
Well, friends, ready to give it a ranking?
I think so. I think we should. We'll give a
Rank
quick welcome back to the listeners who skipped over the spoiler segment of the podcast. We're going to go ahead and throw up. Actually, we're not going to do it. I take it back. We're gonna see where it may go up, or may not. I don't know. We don't know yet what's happening here, but we're gonna rank it and give you our rankings on our entropy list, our big list of all the movies we've watched on the podcast ranked, comparing all the movies we review and comparing them to one another, giving them kind of a rating, put into tiers. That gives you kind of ratings now too. I lost my rigmarole on this one and I just gave up a while ago. So I'm just gonna keep going like this. But yeah, it's our entropy list. If you watch the podcast enough, you know what it is. If you haven't, you'll figure it out. Just go look at it.
So long
know
walks
where-
at 1:15,
Long Walk at 1:15.
which is our other Stephen King as Richard Bachman adaptation
Yes.
this year.
Yes.
For context,
The
that's
Running Man.
above Nightmare Alley, below District 9.
Good context.
Which I think puts it into the B tier. Because we were talking about Predator Badlands being like low B, upper C, right? And that's below this. That's why I asked.
Yes. Yeah. What did you say the Long Walk is?
1:15.
That is C tier. High
Okay.
C tier.
High C tier.
Yeah.
So I maybe 121. Yeah, below Rain of Fire, above Rebel Ridge. That's going to be below original Predator and Frozen 2 as well, but above Rebel Ridge and Del Toro's Pinocchio and La La Land.
And above Predator Badlands and above Weapons and above Challengers and above The Descent and above Barbarian.
Wow, dude.
War of a Hero, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
Wow, dude.
Doctor Strange. I'm just gonna keep listing every movie.
This is just context.
And I'm gonna keep saying wow, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I'd put it, guys.
121. Okay. Seems a little high for me
Wow, dude.
personally, but you can put it where you'd like.
Yeah. Talked a big game. Now he's yawning.
Well, those two things are unrelated.
Don't know. Debatable.
I'm gonna put this. This might be a little bit too conservative, but I don't think this is a movie that I will be thinking about a lot in a month. Whereas a movie like The Long Walk, still think about from time to time. Stays in the back of my mind.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So I think I'm gonna try to, future-proof this ranking by putting it at 169 below Final Destination Bloodlines and above Trick or Treat. I think that's still in a respectable place on this list, but I don't want to give it like too much credit. This movie didn't blow me out of the water by any means necessarily.
And
Was
you
very
did fall in
entertained
love
by
with
it.
Final Destination.
Bloodlines was sick, man. Bloodlines was great. I think it's a little too low on this list, but there's also some other movies above this one that I enjoy quite a bit. That I just think might have more staying power and might stick with me more than this one does long term.
Sure.
So I think that's a good spot for me.
Well, I'll be kind of in between the two of you. we said Fall Guy earlier, and just
Mm-hmm.
kind of coincidentally, it's the same actor. Or sorry, no, it's not. Sorry, I don't know why I thought that. I'm just looking at the cover art. But very similar veins. As far as what action is in there and everything like that. But I do think this is a little bit better. I think this will probably stand the test of time a little bit more. I do see movies like Barbarian and like The Descent, and I did like War of Rohirrim, even though it doesn't get all the credit it should get.
Sure.
And then Soul,
Boring.
Quiet Place. Those are both pretty high up there for me. One of those movies in there that I don't overly think about, and by overly I mean like fucking never, is The Power of the Dog. So I will go above The Power of the Dog and below A Quiet Place. So 141.
Okay.
Okay. Respectable. A good spread here. Pretty good
Yeah,
spread.
I'd be curious to see where Blake is.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit lower if I had to guess. I don't think Blake's a big Glenn Powell guy, which like I like Glenn Powell. People I saw it with last night did not. Some of my friends are not big Glenn Powell people. But I am. So anyway, right now, just the three of our rankings/ratings. We are at 143.667. So would put it, where's that? One below American Gangster, above Moana. Funny place for that to fall. It's just funny seeing Moana next to American Gangster. That's hilarious.
Wait, where did we say it finally was?
Be 143.66, so it'd be 144 essentially below American Gangster and above Moana.
That's right next to Fall Guy too, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah, right next to Fall Guy. We'll see if Blake ends up watching this and ranking it, and then we'll at some point on a future episode put it up officially. For now, this is all hypothetical, and there's a chance this movie doesn't make it on the Entropy list, period. And that would be unfortunate. So I think BlakeHolder should go check out this movie, as we've all actually given our stamp of approval and recommendation of it. But with all that being said, here that's our main review segment. That's it for Running Man. Our next review segment, hopefully with all four of us, will be the movie Frankenstein, the new Del Toro.
Guillermo
Del Toro. Yes, that is new movie coming to Netflix, or already on Netflix, I should say. Getting some buzz right now. But yeah, check that out. Join us for our review next week. What we're watching, gentlemen? We've got time.
for sure.
Y'all watch anything exciting?
You guys go ahead. I'll be right back.
Man, you referenced something for Mr. Ryan Foley earlier, Nathaniel. What was that
true.
in regards to?
Well, for Mr. Foley, I watched. I sat myself down and I watched Terrifier 3. Which is
that a Ryan Foley?
Ryan Foley,
approved?
Foley approved, I believe so. Yeah, I believe the character of Sienna Shaw is a favorite of his. Yeah, it's Terrifier at Christmas. So it is a good Christmas prep, November, post Halloween, pre Christmas feelings movie. Bloodfest, gorefest, splatter flick. Not one that you ever need to watch, Adam. As a guy that does not,
Yeah, I'm not. I
does not appreciate
on it
the gore of things. It is definitely a experience in practical effects. I think the franchise kind of probably peaked with the second one. This one was fun at parts, but I felt like towards the end I was kind of like, okay, I've had enough time with my Terrifier time at this point. But yeah, enjoyed it. Art the Clown is an icon at this point as well. I remain a little bit like the Terrifier films. I enjoy them, and I think they're fun as black comedies. They go a little bit nihilistic in some areas for me, where I'm just like, you're like without Freddy Krueger without the like humor is just a dude going around killing people, and like at that point you're just watching him for the kills at a certain point. And I feel like
Yeah.
art sometimes dips into that, where like he's not even very funny anymore. It's just like we are getting our enjoyment from the over the top kill, which
Right.
is works, but is diminishing returns for me.
Sure. Yeah.
So yeah, that's my what I've been watching. I watched the Bears game yesterday. Was that yesterday? That was yesterday.
I watched most of it. I did see the ending.
Yeah, pretty boring
Seems
until
like
the
all
end.
you need to do. Well, I was going to say, it seems like all you need to do for the Bears is just turn on the fourth quarter, because they've been having some interesting fourth quarters this season, for better and probably for worse.
Blood
I really
pressure
don't think
Bears?
these games, the blood pressure Bears, it's not a sustainable way to win football games.
Doesn't make you feel confident.
I'm glad that they're doing it. It doesn't. I mean, I saw something on Twitter today, and it's very accurate. Of like, the NFL is a weird sport because the Bears are 2 plays away from being like 3-7 or something like that, or they're like 4 plays away from being 3-7. But they're also, but they're also like 4 or 2 plays away from being 9-1, I think is what it was.
Yeah, sure.
Something along those lines of like, they could be 9-1 right now.
It's
could also very easily be 3-7. Like,
the more I watch of football, the more I just like the fact that it makes the money it does, and like occupies this cultural space for all of us is just so odd to me. Like there's so much. I feel like there's so much waste. There's so much waste in pro football of just like people that just get like churned up or like aren't used or don't get time to develop in so many ways. But like it's so strange. But it's like the same thing. Like, but then they never go to like the Canadian Football League, and that doesn't blow up the same way. There is something about the fact that people just are like, no, I'm watching football, and that is my church on Sunday, like kind of thing, you know?
Right, dude.
It's fascinating.
I've never understood it, man. Because I like football. I enjoy it. I think college football for me
it's just the whole lifestyle. I feel like it's got to be that thing where it is 100%. Your social circle, it is your like entertainment, and it is your like your downtime as well too. And it's like it's what you feel passionate about, right? Like they all yell at the players and like, come on boys, or like, they all have an opinion about it. It's just when it's so much of everything. And I'm on the outside as not a grown up football fan. It's just like it's easy to look at it and just be like, what is happening at some points?
Right. No, it's all valid. And I had that awakening in college of like, once I got to Missouri, it just felt like everyone was always talking and watching football, especially on Sundays, especially the Chiefs, because that was kind of their prime.
Sure. Yeah.
And it just was like, man, I felt like I stuck out more than I ever have of like having to say like, oh yeah, no, I don't watch just endless amounts of football, or like Sundays aren't reserved for just watching football. Cause I've had multiple roommates now of like Sunday, football is on, or the Chiefs are on, or the Bears are on.
Yeah.
That is my plan. And it's just like, okay. Like, good for you,
man.
And there's nothing wrong with it. No. I love sports. I watch basketball, baseball, Formula One. I'm watching sports all the time. I'm not talking anything about that. I get it if that's your sport that you want to watch. It's not the sports or the aspect of it. It's just like, to me, I've never understood why football is the one to really wrap the majority of the American population in so hard. I've just never understood it.
Yeah, it's a real odd one. It probably make a good. There's probably a book or a documentary out there about it at some point that kind of like emphasizes that a bit more. But yeah, it's a strange thing.
It is. Ever since seeing, as much as I didn't like the movie Him, it has still left a lasting impression of how
Really?
I like now watch NFL broadcasts now, where I'm like, this is kind of strange. Of like just like hit it on the head so hard of like how glorified they make the NFL feel and seem, and now that I watch those broadcasts, all I can think about is those movies
Well,
sometimes of some of like the
Isn't that
low. They'll
every
have like the
professional sport?
it is, but there's something about the NFL and the way they do it,
because
man.
because it
There's
like
something about it.
and it's because it crosses those cultural things where I think like if you watch the NFL, you will see commercials that you won't see anywhere else because they'll be
Right.
featuring like NFL players or something like that. That was an experience I had over the weekend where I was watching and I was just like, oh, these are like Bud Light, Coca-Cola, and like someone else, huge, massive companies that have these like marketing firms that are creating funny commercials for them, featuring like NFL players or something like that in it as well too, where it does become your whole bubble, I think, at a certain point, and there's so much money in it that I think it just becomes like it is just that thing of just it's beyond any one person's ability to like put a halt to it or something like that, right?
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I feel lucky I get to kind of like watch it at some points though too, like to like observe and experience it, and well, that's life. Anyways,
Yeah. Facts.
I'm not gonna get too philosophical here. Tyler, what you been watching?
Foosball.
Like on the table or like the
Foosball?
Just I found a professional foosball network.
I've been betting
Do
for
they
3
offer
days
live
straight.
parlays? Yeah.
You guys know I'm like the one person you probably know that doesn't gamble. So
Yeah. It's about to be a very unique skill to not gamble, I feel like, for certain people.
Yeah.
I feel like it has been. I feel like since and it's funny because Bill and I were just talking about this. I feel like since we were at Best Buy, like it was almost like we had to tell people to put their fucking phones away because everybody was always talking about parlays and shit. And it's
Yep.
like, dude, what do we do? You're at work
Yeah.
right now.
I think
Like I'm cool for like downtime. Like everybody knows I'm fucking down to clown. I'm like the one person.
seems
But
like
like it's crazy.
it really got the kids younger than us. That college generation that was like
For
right
sure,
below
dude.
us, our gen, like they seem to really got their hooks into them.
Yeah, it's scary in my opinion. Gambling is not a I've been this is so funny that we're talking about this. Obviously, we don't have to keep talking about this, but
No, I'm
I
cool.
was telling Bill that um you should have to be in a specific tax bracket to be able to gamble. You should have to be able to make a certain amount of money before you can be able to like financially say, "Okay, I can
I have stuff to
confidently throw this
spend.
money away."
Yeah.
Like you should not be able to be somebody who is on the brink of not being able to pay their rent, not being able to fucking buy groceries, not being able to afford like basic life shit and then gamble it all away and then you're fucked. Like and then either
Yeah.
that or then go somewhere to get into massive debt. And then this is where like my problem with college is like college should just not be as expensive as it is. 18-year-olds don't know what the fuck they're signing. They're signing up for thousands and thousands of dollars of debt. They were barely taught any of that in high school, unless you took some kind of like accounting class in high school to even fathom what a loan is at that age. And it's just one big thing that I have like with gambling. And you guys obviously, if you know me, you know why I have my qualms with gambling.
Yeah.
So that's like a very personal vendetta that I feel like people and especially young people or people who are just in financial or on the brink of like financial heartbreak should not be able to gamble. Like you just shouldn't be able to. Um but yeah, whatever. It's your money. Do whatever the fuck you want with it.
Counterpoint, Tyler. What if Joe Schmo over there can't afford, tomorrow's lunch or feed his child, but one parlay of Josh Giddey
No.
double and
Nope.
Nikola Vucevic plus 13 rebounds? I
Nope.
mean, that could pay for both.
Unfortunately, they probably got
All
into that
jokes, by the way.
scenario because
All
they made a different parlay that didn't hit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but it's gonna hit tonight. All right, it's gonna hit.
They've
Whatever
been
you need to
down
get your
for 3
dopamine
weeks.
fix.
I
Well,
mean,
yeah.
this ties in. About 2 or 3 weeks ago, there was a UFC betting scandal that had kind of broke out into the mainstream as well too. And I mean, that's one where like, man, I don't think I'll bet on fights anymore. Like
That's my
the
biggest thing. Like that's like with all the basketball stuff that came out, the
Yep.
baseball
Yeah.
stuff that's coming out. Clearly, there's
Yeah.
a UFC thing going on,
yeah,
and I've had this theory for years that if you don't think that there's a certain amount of any kind of professional outing or sport or whatever you want to call it that is rigged, you're fucking nuts. You're crazy if
lying
you
to
don't
yourself
think
for
somebody's
Well,
making
at
money
least-
off of those games.
at least since the gambling has become more of a thing, right? In America and that kind of stuff. Like I would say internationally, you know, I know they
Yeah.
like when I lived in England, they had the gambling apps already, and they were kind of like at the time.
Sure.
I remember my buddy. He was like, "Bro, it's gonna be bad, and you know what else is gonna hit? It's gonna hit the athletes because they get so bored and they've got just money to burn, so they'll just
Yeah.
bet on anything. Like at a certain point, like." His whole theory is that smartphones and camera phones have ruined being a professional athlete for anyone because now you just like have to
you were talking. Yeah,
you have to like be on your best behavior at all times just because you can't.
right. You can't go get blackout drunk at a club in
Right.
Ibiza.
Yeah, exactly. Like because someone's
Yeah.
gonna film you at some point, right?
Right,
So
right.
instead they just stay at home and either game or gamble. And like
Right.
you kind of see it happening. Like he's not 100% wrong.
No,
I feel like.
he's right. He's right. 100%.
But yeah, like I
I
don't.
think that's kind of the same for like everybody though, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
like I used to be able to go out to like a bar
Yeah,
and like
sure.
if somebody had beef, I'd be like, dude, let's just go outside. Let's just fucking go outside.
Yeah.
And squash. And if you want to throw it on, we could throw it on. And now you just can't do that because even if it's agreed on by both parties, unless you're in very few states that have a law where you can fight,
Well, yeah,
you're
just
fucked.
someone's
If
got a camera.
somebody's fucked-
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like I think Texas has a law where like you can as long as both parties agree to it, it's perfectly legal. Doesn't matter. Cops can literally be standing right there. You are beating the fuck out of somebody, and as long as both parties agree to it, nobody's going to jail. Which is crazy,
Yeah.
but you can't do that anymore. So
Yeah.
not that like but like some people deserve to get fucking smacked in the mouth. Unless
Well, like, yeah, there's a
you know
there's a whole other side of this that's the accountability thing for people where people just think they can fucking say whatever they want nowadays and like not have consequences for it. That's a whole other thing. But yeah, it's weird now, man. I like particularly for the sports side of things, it's like some of that stuff like you just don't like the big games, maybe something like that, like who's gonna win, who's gonna lose. But then like I think the baseball one was like whether or not pitches were gonna be balls or strikes, or like the first pitch of an inning be a ball and that kind of thing. And the UFC one, like that one's tough too because there's no such thing as like an injury report. There's not a disabled list. There's no IR. So if someone comes in injured, you can completely think that you're having a legitimate bet placed down, but if that dude's got an ACL, no health insurance, and needs to make it through this fight so that he can say
it's
he
not declared beforehand.
right, and so that he can
Got
say
it.
that he declared it or that he got it in the fight, so that the UFC's health insurance will pay for it. Like that's not a fair fight. That's tantamount to fight fixing at that point.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, for sure.
That happened in the past. This guy, like,
Okay.
more or less what they think is, they noticed because the line moved on the apps. So,
Got it.
which is the other side of this is that now with apps, they can notice things like this, right? Like all of a sudden, all this
Right.
money started coming in on it. And then the UFC called him and they're like, hey, man, we've got an alert that like there's been some weird things going on here. Are you good to fight? And he was like, yep, I'm good. I want to go. Like, I'm here to win. And then in the first round, he gets taken down. And instead of like fighting a choke off by fighting the hands, he starts trying to punch through it. And like the commentator's like, that's the wrong thing. This is like his 10th fight. Like this is
What are you
day
doing?
one
Yeah.
stuff. Like, why is this happening?
Yeah.
And then he gets choked out in the first round. And like afterwards, everyone was like, well, that was weird. and
Hmm.
then they went on from that. But then, like, there's been 2 fights within the last 3 or 4 years where title fights, where a guy came in, he had his shoulder was dislocating consistently. He told the refs about it, where he's like, my shoulder might pop out during this fight. I'm going to put it back in. And they were like, all right, round 1, shoulder pops out. In between rounds, he's like, I can't continue. Now, everyone, like, the ref knew that at that point. That's a fixed fight, in my opinion. Like,
Yeah, that's pretty fucking wild.
That's crazy.
and then there was a recent one as well, too, where a guy got knocked out in the first round of his title fight and was claiming that he came in with broken ribs.
Unreal. Yeah, man. Don't gamble, people. I know there's, tons of other people that are telling you to, or, a couple
Yeah.
bucks or, whatever, but
My
your hard-earned
my
money,
rule
don't gamble.
is
There are better ways to capitalize on money than to fucking gamble. It's not even close to worth it. And you're never gonna come out on top. You're gonna get a couple dopamine fixes. You might break even in the long run, but you are never going to come out on top. Stop fucking gambling.
the parlay is gonna hit, man. No, my rule with sports betting is it has to be a game that I am watching or intend on watching or like I am attending.
Sure. You want to put $5 on your
'cause-
team to win the World Series at the
Yeah,
start of the year?
there you go.
Sure. You know, that's fine.
Right.
But don't be betting
or $5
on
to
ping pong
win a
games
game that
in
I'm going
Asia.
to watch. Yeah, exactly. That's the difference. So for me, I can justify it as, well, I paid $5. I have an added investment in X game that I'm watching. I'm going to get more entertainment value out of it. So even if I lose my $5, I at least got something for it.
2
Whereas
years from now, we're gonna see Adam. He's got like an Apple Vision on. He's like, I'm watching every game.
Multi-screen.
Yeah.
I'm invested in all of them.
I love the multicast. No, because I mean I'm in group chats where people are like, well, what's the bet? What's the bet today? You
Yeah,
know
for
what
sure.
I mean?
That's
Like,
crazy,
a
man.
couple of my brother and my cousins and some of their friends and stuff. It's just like,
What's every game?
For sure,
Every
yeah.
game
Do
you
it,
see
do
it
it.
on TV
Sure.
where they're advertising it
oh my
as well
god,
too.
dude, you can't
or the
get,
streamers.
you can't run away from it.
I was gonna say that's what I was like. That's my biggest thing. Like, I love Tim, right? But
every day.
he's sponsored
Yeah.
by FanDuel.
Every
It's
day
the
he's
first
got
thing
a-
he does every single
He's
time
got a
he
parlay
logs on.
going. Yeah.
His entire chat's talking about it, and if he doesn't, the whole chat's talking about it. 20 minutes later, we're like, Tim, what's the parlay? What's the
Yeah.
parlay this week? And yeah, so it's crazy, man. But I mean, obviously he's gonna promote, whoever's paying him, and
Well, yeah.
props to him. But
I mean, yeah, dude, if I was a
he tells
streamer and
people to
FanDuel
gamble
wanted me to,
responsibly, but yeah, it's crazy, man.
I don't blame Tim. I mean, shit, if I was in his position, yeah, we'd be cooking up some parlays live on stream. And
I mean, but
I'd be
that's
banking
the
those checks.
at some point someone's gotta like take a stand at some point, right? Or people will. I don't know. It's a strange one.
Yeah, man.
Everyone's got to find their line if you're in that business of where you want to take your money from. Because not that there's great places to take money from, anyways, if you get to choose. But anyways,
Yeah, no, it's all. Yeah,
And obviously, I'm in. So like, I have text message threads where like we talk about like stocks or
Sure.
like what people are investing in, and obviously you're talking potentially about another form of gambling, and
Yeah.
all that. But at least there's dividends, and
Well,
there's
the stocks are
data-driven there, and
regulated.
so-
Like that's
Right.
the other side of it is that like there's a certain amount in stocks you're never gonna get less than what you'll never lose more than you put into it, right? Other than like the if you were doing futures or whatever.
Yeah, or if you're just taking heavy risk
Right.
on like crypto or something like that, then yeah, obviously there's a chance that you could risk a lot of it. But yes.
Yeah, I'm in danger.
I was like, this is why my internet is breaking down. He's got his mining rig in the next room.
Yeah, I was
there's
gonna
only
say,
one other
my
person
other-
here, but
Well, do you guys have anything else to talk about what we're watching wise?
nah, we've solved all the world's problems.
Yeah, we started Landman. Season 2 came out on
Yeah.
Paramount. So we're looking forward to watching that. First episode's pretty good. Kind of just picked up right where it left off on first season. Oh, and then we finished season 2 of Gen V, which is the spin-off of The Boys.
The Boys.
Right.
Which is also pretty decent. So, definitely recommend watching season 2 as well. So, if you're into The Boys and all that, it's a great little spin-off. But yeah, other than that, nothing too major. No really any big movies or anything like that. Leah and I are still doing like our little Marvel run until we probably get to like Infinity War, and then we might just stop, but we'll see how far she wants to go. But we just watched Ant-Man and the Wasp, which was still just as mediocre as I remember. So
Yeah.
Oh, the other thing too is Sunday morning we were doing some cleaning. I did turn on the new Jurassic World. I don't even know what it's called.
Dominion. No.
Rebirth.
Wait, yeah. Rebirth.
Dominion was the last one.
Yeah, we watched that one on pod. It was bad.
It gets even wilder than Dominion.
I've heard this one is
What's
genuinely
cooking up?
terrible.
Literally what they're cooking up in the lab. Do not recommend. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Then yeah,
Noted.
that's all I got.
Noted.
Yep.
All right. Cool. Let's move on out. Do us a favor, share the podcast, share with a friend, family member, maybe a fellow Running Man contestant. While you're doing that, follow us on Twitter at BanterRow. Our YouTube is Back Row Banter, and our email is backrowbanterpod@gmail.com if you want to send us one of those. You can find me on Letterboxd at Aish and on Twitter at Aish24. That's AYYSH. Nathaniel Gingrich, where can the people find you at, my man?
You can find me on Letterboxd, on Instagram, on Blue Sky. Nathaniel G92 or NS Gingrich should find you, me on most of those places. Tyler.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, Letterboxd, and X, all Tyler Vidales, VIDALES. Is that it? Should I get us out, or somebody else gonna get us out? What do you guys want me to do?
You get us out, bro.
You get us out, dude.
Perfect. Shout out Blake. Hopefully you get safe travels home.
Yeah. Anyone heard from him?
Nah, but he'll
No,
be
I think
6 hours
probably
ahead.
confined to Wi-Fi as well. I'm sure he didn't get like a data plan for the week.
Perhaps not.
True.
He's probably close enough to a hotspot or Wi-Fi. But either way, safe travels, buddy.
I'll track him.
Have a
I
good
have
night.
his location.
There we go.
Yeah, track him. And hit us up on socials, share us, whatever you want to do, write us in. We read reviews, we read your emails and stuff like that. And spread the love, and we'll BRB.
He made it. He's in London.
America. Ready for another lesson.
Good man, good man. Did you ever look up Peanut like I told you to?
What's so funny about that is you told me that, and the very next day he like showed up on all my feeds automatically. I didn't even have to go search him up. So now I am getting Peanut clips, which like pretty entertaining. I don't know. It seems like a bit that might fizzle out pretty quick, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think genuinely he's funny as shit. And
I mean, the clips I've seen have been great. I haven't tuned into him directly, but the clips I've seen, he is pretty funny.
Yeah, I think that's just kind of my draw. He's just he's funny as shit, and he definitely caters to the stupid humor part of my brain. It's not, smart humor by any means, but it's just kind of like that.
Yeah,
witty,
he's just yelling, but he's
quick.
funny. I saw the clip of, I guess he and Ninja squatted up in Arc Raiders or something.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing he said is something about the
movement.
Yeah. And Ninja's like, "There's no shot that the instant we meet, you bring up my lowest point."
Yeah. Yeah, he does not give a fuck.
I do every once in a while. Like that's a pop culture moment that I reference.
True.
sometimes is I'm not seeing a lot of movement, and no one ever will get it, and that's fine because it just brings me so much joy fucking quoting that.
It's so good. Yeah, dude, there's a clip of him and I think it's Myth and Clocky, and Clock is fucking doing something. He's like fighting people, like giving out full blown comms and arc raiders, like oh, one over here going down, and like in the background. And Myth is like, I'm activating the bridge. We're on our way over. And he like hits a button and it like activates the bridge. And then Peanut goes up to the same thing. He's like, activating the bridge. We're on the way over. But it deactivates. So it starts raising the bridge back up. And they literally do that bit for like probably 2 full minutes. Myth is like, activating the bridge. Peanut's like, I'm activating the bridge. And then fucking Cloak dies. And he's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? So now people just go into Clocky's fucking chat and they're just like activating bridge, and he's like, chat, shut the fuck up.
That's funny.
Yeah, he's got he played with a lot of big names like really, really quick. I don't even know where he came from, dude. And he picked up like Tim and Clokey real quick, and then him and Cloak have been playing together a lot, and like now he's been playing with like Summit and Myth a lot. And then he even teamed up with Nick for a couple of days. And then Courage. So yeah, dude, he's been everywhere.
Came out of
lately.
nowhere, dude. That's
Yeah,
0
I
to
know.
100. Good for
And
him,
his
man.
like in between
It's been a long
like,
time since I feel like a new streamer has really emerged.
hit like that hard for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
I would
Jinxie and Sketch were the last 2 to really break through like that.
Yeah, for sure. But even then, that's like a total different kind of stream. Like Jinxie's fucking gambling all the time, and Sketch just plays
Is he?
Madden. Yeah, that's all. Like Sketch only plays Madden, and Jinx only gambles.
Right. Well, Jinx was R6 for the majority of his time, but
yeah,
I
I
don't know
guess
what
I
he
only
does
caught
now.
him when he was like really gambling. I don't watch either of them now.
Yeah,
and
I
then
don't- I
obviously
don't at this
Sketch
point.
fell off hard.
Well, he ran into some issues, I think.
Yeah, I mean, one
yeah.
flew too close to the sun and just did not know how to handle it, and then 2
Yeah.
just ran into
Hate to see it.
a lot of
Crashed out.
emotional issues, and then just a lot of drama, internet drama.
Damn.
Yeah, dude, Sketch was like, there was the one thing that I caught him. It was somebody's podcast, and he was like full blown like in tears.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. It was like a phase thing,
Yeah,
I think.
like did not know how to handle any
Had,
kind of
like-
emotions that he was going through,
Yeah.
and was
Basically
drinking too
started
much.
drinking. Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw all that. So, but I've seen like he started streaming again. It seems like. So
yeah,
I
I
think
kind of
he's
only saw
gotten
one,
better,
and
but-
then recently he was just back on Theo Vaughn's podcast this past weekend, and that was his second time on there. So, and he seemed to be doing a lot better as far as I know.
Yeah,
Just
good for
kind of
him.
not drinking as much. He's almost exclusively only drinking like very minimal. Not like drinking to get blacked out either. He's got a girlfriend, but we all know that that's probably tied to some kind of gold digging. But who knows? I guess you can't judge a book by its cover. But
Yeah.
But anyways, Peanut streams late, so I would encourage you to go watch him when we're done here, because he's currently
Alright.
live. And even if you give it 20, 30 minutes or whatever, if you're bored, he's funnier than shit.
Yeah. I'll check it out.